Welcome, everybody, to another age of radio Mercury. My name is Jeremy Quintanilla. This is my amazing, one of my best friends and my trusty sidekick in all of these weird adventures or whatever the hell we're actually doing on here these days. I don't know. This is Creator Trey. I'm really excited. Creator Trey, I'm trying to find an asset to put up. I can't find it. Did I not? I don't know where I saved it. Hold on. Where did I save it at? I'm going to be so excited if I can find it. So excited. Hold on. It's your new catchphrase.
Oh, no.
Where'd it go? Is it in a widget? Oh, I got to find. Oh, no. It's not under the Mercury banners. Where would I have saved it on accident? Not foam stuff. Well, that didn't work out. Good news is, Trey, I have Dustin working on the vectoring. We're going to make our this is the first t-shirt of anything that I've ever done I've had made. Not 3T related, because 3T has done a lot of stuff with shirts. But this is going to be the very first Age of Radio, Jeremy, Mercury, whatever you want to call it, shirt, because I am massively in love with your new catchphrase, which is hanging on.
Like a barnacle on a rock.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I'm so excited. And then, we can find an illustrator to make us a barnacle hanging onto rocks in different settings. And then we can put those on the t-shirts. It's going to be a whole line. I don't know. It's for me, and then I'll just send them to you. And if me and you are the only ones that wear it, that's fine. It'll be our only thing. But before I kick it over to you to see how you're doing, everybody, I hope you're excited for today. We have a fun show in store. Finally, Foam Talk is back with Danielle from Husky Hubby Cosplay, and I'm working on some behind-the-scenes stuff to get even more foam chemical explosions in here. I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to have to get Trey to fly down to Arizona, or we're going to go to a university in Montana, one of those two things, so we can do foam experiments is the idea. But Husky Hubby Cosplay, or Danielle from Husky Hubby Cosplay, is going to be on the show probably at the top of the hour. After we get through a few articles here, we'll invite her in, and then we'll do some random EVA foam talk, which EVA stands for ethylene vinyl acetate. You didn't know that you were going to become a chemical expert watching this show. But for some breaking news today, Stan Lee's voice and likeness have been sold off an AI company for audiobooks and comic slop. We'll hit on that. And we're also going to talk about how Valve just raised the price of the Steam Deck by hundreds of dollars. But before we get into that, Trey, you said you had a crazy week. And also, you were the one that made us late this time because you had a technical issue. So what was happening with your technical issue?
So, the iPhone, I use my iPhone's continuity cam feature for my appearance on the show. Apple's really fussy. So if my iPhone hasn't been updated.
Say that one more time. Say it one more time. What's fussy? Is it Apple that's fussy?
Apple's really fussy.
Okay. I'm just kidding. Continue, Trey.
If the hardware for the computer and the hardware on the phone are on different operating system versions, so my computer was on 26.5, my phone was on 26.4, literally a single point difference, and it just wouldn't work. So I had to update my phone, and then I had to do all that fun stuff.
I understand. It is always fun, but you also said you had a busy week on top of that. So what else happened?
So I have 3 products coming that I'm really excited about.
Wow.
New headphones, new monitor mount because I don't have 2 monitors anymore, and a standing mouse. So I'm really excited about that.
What is a standing mouse?
It's an ergonomic mouse that has like a position where your hand is up and down rather than side to side. It's like it's very ergonomic, so it doesn't get wrist pain.
I wonder if Dustin should use that. Dustin has wrist problem. Actually, he doesn't have a wrist problem. He has a problem with some like tendon in his bone or something like here. So I don't know if that would help him in any way whatsoever, but it might help him with wrist. I'm going to have to look into it. Which one did you buy?
There is one on TikTok that has both Bluetooth and 2.4G wireless, and it is $20.
Huh, that's not bad at
from
all.
Ugreen.
Why'd you get new headphones?
I'm not going to be able to hear you for a second, but that's why. If you guys can see it.
Yeah, that's nothing, Trey. Here, I'm a musician, okay? I have all kinds of audio equipment. I have one pair of headphones for shows. This is what they look like. Oh, you can't hear me. You didn't hear anything I said.
I heard something
Look at
about
these.
you being a
Look
musician.
at these. It's all gone. Like it's just the cushion underneath. It's horrible. Every time we try to do that, I hate wearing these things. Also, I don't have a good headphone set up in here, headset set up in here, which is actually the next thing that I'm going to purchase. So good on headphones. You got a standing mouse. What was the other thing? You're a monitor rack because you don't have two monitors.
Yeah, so I bought a dual monitor mount, and Wanwo, the Chinese company that makes the monitor mounts I've been using because they're really good and cheap. I got a single monitor mount, one of their new ones that has a new mechanical spring inside for like $30.
That's really cool. I started reading a Substack that you were doing. It was really well written, Trey. I didn't finish the whole. It was the one you put out maybe earlier this week.
That's actually kind of funny because I have had a generation, and this is why I'm so excited. I've had a really good week, and that's because I have had what I'm calling a generational run with my Substack, because these are some of the best articles I think I've ever done. And there's one today that I think is really interesting because it's not a tech article. So like 4 whole articles, and all of them like all but the last one lead up from each other. So
that's cool. And you guys can click this link here if you want to go join Trey's Substack. I have a Substack also. I haven't really written anything for it yet because I tend to get really excited and like, I'm going to go start this and then have no plan of action whatsoever on what I'm doing. It's a interesting thing that I can do both of these podcasts on Fridays and still have time to make my podcast every once in a while. But go check out Trey's Substack. I got my new guitar in today, so I'm really excited about that. But I'm not going to be able to play it till next week because I'm going to Sedona as soon as we're done with this show. And then I got this. Do you remember me telling you about this? This is that Go podcast by Roland.
Yeah, I do remember you telling me about that.
It essentially has multi-directional patterns on it. It's only $50, so that's actually pretty inexpensive. In the scheme of like the fact that this freaking microphone, which is the go-to microphone for podcasting, is like $400. But so it's really relatively inexpensive, but you can connect this to your phone and there's an app and it should allow you to record all of your podcasts, including doing interviews if you wanted to, because this is omnidirectional. So I was thinking about taking it with me to Sedona and trying to do maybe a show with Maria while I'm there for my lo-fi episodes where I try to go through like different inexpensive ways to do a podcast and then record a podcast with them. I remember this one time I recorded it with my go-tos with Charlie and Brian during band practice. And when we were doing it, I priced what we were actually using. And to do that recording, it would have cost like $700. And I was like, this is not a lo-fi easy way to do this. Or inexpensive, I guess, maybe not lo-fi. Well, that's really cool, Trey. So I know that we have Danielle that's coming here up soon. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add about your week?
Nope, that was it. Just
yeah, go ahead.
No, that's it. Just a really good week.
All right, cool. Well, let's start off with this. This is kind of sad. Did you read this entire article?
Which one is it?
Sorry, it's the Stan Lee one.
I've seen stuff on it. I have not read all of it.
Okay, so Stan Lee's voice and likeness have been sold off to an AI company for audiobooks and comic slop. I'm assuming it's comic slop, probably in reference to AI slop, but it's when people are using AI just to make a bunch of comics, would be my guess.
Yes.
Okay.
A quick thing, because I haven't read this, so I'm curious how well it's going to portray it. It's 11 labs, and it's like, I think it's a curated section of books. It's not like anything that people can bring up. I could be wrong on that.
And well, that's not the part that makes me frustrated about this article. but we can talk. And let me just go through this real quick, Trey. Legendary Marvel artist and writer Stan Lee was allegedly a victim of elder abuse in his final years, as he was reportedly taken advantage of by business managers. Now, even in death, he is being used for other people's profit as AI nut jobs, very non-journalistic word there to utilize. AI nut jobs are dragging his metaphorical corpse, and again, metaphorical corpse out of Earth to use a mock-up of his voice and likeness. So 11 Labs, which is the nut jobs in this case, an AI-driven speech synthesis company, has entered an agreement with Stan Lee Universe to replicate Lee's likeness and voice as part of its 11 Labs iconic marketplace. This is a collection of the voices and likeness of famous people, including actors Michael Caine, Judy Garland, and David Hasselhoff. The agreement also puts Lee's likeness in its visual generator, allowing users to create comic book panels starring the late writer. So, Trey, now what were you going to say?
So I had not heard about it going into actual visuals. That's a bit iffy, in my opinion. And the fact that it's elder abuse is horrible. I actually was going to look more into this because, again, if it's something that he might have consented to, you know, and I think it should go to what the person would have wanted. Unfortunately, a lot of these people hold the rights to these people long after they're dead, which is something that has been a problem even when it comes to like Disney and Star Wars.
Well, yeah, this is also the reason why people need to have good. I know that attorneys are expensive, but when you start getting really wealthy, it shouldn't be that difficult to get attorneys and have really good trust and have fiduciaries in line so that they can manage your wishes of these types of things after your death. And that's one of the reasons why I, and especially at the 3-2 Warrior Academy, myself included, are very big fans of trust. In fact, that was one of my biggest wins for the week, as I forgot. I actually was able to finally get my trust documents were signed a couple weeks ago, finally got the profile built at the bank, and then got the accounts open. So again, everybody should have a trust, and people that are in the capacity that Stan Lee was, there should be a trust that's in line. The problem is that if the fiduciary or the trustee who eventually oversees the trust, if they're doing unethical things from a trust perspective. Oh no, you know what time it is, Trey?
What time is it?
It is grandma time. Oh, she left. Okay, well, she's not gonna rock out with
us. She can't hear us.
No, I know. You need to. I guess that there's not a way to solve that. Anyway, okay, so this is a preview of introducing Stan Lee on 11 Labs.
You know what they never tell you about legends? They outlive the page. A good story doesn't belong to one moment. It grows, it changes, it gets passed from generation to generation, constantly evolving. Every great story starts with a hero. And just because a person has a superpower doesn't mean they don't have the same problems that you have. In reality, anybody can be a superhero. A superhero is just an ordinary person who found the courage to do extraordinary things. I used to be embarrassed because I was just a comic book writer. And then I began to realize entertainment is one of the most important things in people's lives. So for the creators, the ones dreaming, building, chasing that one great idea, as long as there are people who believe in it, who carry it forward, it lives on. With great power comes great responsibility. Excelsior!
The voice of Stan Lee, now yours to discover. Join 11 Labs today.
Okay, so I have two thoughts on this. I think what makes this bad is the fact that if there was elder abuse in the situation for his likeness and rights and things like that, then there is a problem with him then selling this in this capacity. Where I'm not 100% against it is that if I were dead and you were the trustee of my trust or whatever, they'll have the rights to my likeness and so forth, and you wanted to make money, yes, one, that's fine. Two, but then you also wanted the capacity for my legacy to live on into eternity. I mean, that also allows this to happen where more and more people will get to experience Stan Lee in some capacity and have learned about him from this, where that can continue on his legacy into eternity, essentially. I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing.
I actually agree with that. I think that the idea that his legacy can live beyond him is fantastic. The only thing comes into the way people work inside of that system where I do draw the thing. So I was actually going to look up if Stan Lee was like into like the higher technical stuff at all, or if he was more of a traditionalist, because that would actually play a role, in my opinion, on how far this goes.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Because it's also too, if like maybe he was forefront thinking like that and enjoyed those types of things, and maybe he would have been fine with it as well, right? Because you can't from like the thought process of knowing when you're dead what technologies are going to be there to be like, yes, when I die, I want to make sure that my likeness is utilized in any type of artificial intelligence that comes up. I get that's not a feasible thing, but at the same time, if it is something that he might have been interested in, then maybe it would be something that he would have done, that he would have liked to have done. And to me, from like the legacy piece of it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Again, I think it's more of like, really, what is the stance on this elder abuse? But the other thing too is I don't think journalists should make, I mean, this could be like an opinion type of piece, but I mean, to then be like, so the person that wrote this article obviously has some type of stance against it, writing the article rather than portraying like the facts of the situation, right? And that's one of the things that I encourage people to be mindful of whenever they're making judgments. But some of the conversation on here, even in death, Stan cannot rest. To be fair, I think he would want to be the forever voice of comic books, right? So that's again kind of like what we were saying. I agree that AI shouldn't be able to use other people's voice or likeness for profit without permission. But if a person or living or dead gives the permission, then what's the problem? Pretty certain Stan Lee was all for this. He said as much time and time again as is what this one person is saying. So maybe he was 100% for it. I don't know.
Yeah, I would be very curious. And I agree. Like, so it's actually kind of funny. Going back, I think that there does need to be a bit of opinion. But to your point, maybe the opinion needs to be, because I think that the industry should move out of platform territory and into writer territory. So maybe it's something where they give their opinions on like social media and write articles to be more objective. Because I do think that. What?
Is it me?
It's
Trey,
you.
I'm gone. I'm back. Everything's
You're back.
doing good. Wait, I have good news though. I have good news and bad news. The good news is about an entire cool business unit that we can travel around that costs $500 that then costs $150 a month for internet access. That's the good news. So we can have dedicated internet access for this specific show. The bad news is it's still in my hand and I haven't set it up yet.
Real quick, Jeremy, I got to take I want to apologize because you guys can hear her. Yeah, my grandma's just here in the background. You guys are probably going to hear her. And the various comments that she keeps putting out there and calling to bump.
Wait, are they funny comments?
Stuff.
I thought when she was cleaning the sheet, she was going to put it over your head.
Jeremy says that when you were cleaning the sheet, he thought you were going to put it over my head.
And I was either going to make a KKK joke, which would not be in good taste, or I was going to make a ghost joke, which would be in good taste.
Sorry, I just had to call that out because maybe it's not coming through as much as I thought if you're not hearing it.
No, I'm not hearing anything Grandma's saying. I see her is walking around slamming doors in the background. And I just want to play the rock music. All right, well, let's get through this next article because I think Danielle just entered. So before I bring her up on the stage, let me just let her know I'll bring her up here in a minute. Okay, she gave me thumbs. All right, so we're going to do the second article for breaking news. Valve just released the price of the Steam Deck by hundreds of dollars. Trey, I don't have a Steam Deck. Do you play on Steam? I never remember every time we have this conversation. I think like this conversation happens exactly the same way every single time. And every single time I'm like, oh, I'm going to go buy a Steam Deck. But I never do. And now we're here. And now the price is raised. So now I wish that I bought it before whenever I mention it because the price is going up.
Yeah, I don't. I probably wouldn't because PC gaming it's not optimized like console gaming is. And Steam and Xbox and all of those handhelds are PCs dressed up.
That's true. If you don't already own a Steam Deck but do want one, I, Jeremy, have some bad news for you reading this article. Valve just raised the price by hundreds of dollars. While the LCD version of the deck has been discontinued, but is still great and available secondhand, the OLED 512 gigabyte and 1 terabyte versions are now back in stock, but with increased prices that reflect the current state of component cost. Thank you, Donald Trump. Just kidding. And other global logistical challenges across the industry as a whole, Valve has announced. The 512 OLED deck will now cost $789, up from $549. That's a big price hike. And the 1 terabyte OLED deck will now cost $949, up from $649. It's $1,000 for a handheld deck. That's a $240 and $300 price jump, respectively. That makes yesterday the best time to buy a Steam Deck, depending on when Trey got this article from, because these new prices are in effect immediately. And now I'm kicking myself on not buying these things when they came out. That's why you should always buy things on the day that they come out, no matter what you have to do or go into debt. I'm just kidding. Don't do any of those things. It'd be contradictory to what I say in my other businesses. Don't do that. But, I don't know, Trey. Thoughts? Valve, Trump.
So I actually love Valve. I don't play any of the games that they're in. I think they are a phenomenal company. As a matter of fact, what's his name? The head of Epic. There was a separate article about this. The head of Epic Games made a comment talking about, the price is up for yachts because apparently Gabe Newell does yachts. He buys mega yachts. And my thought, because I do not like Epic. And so my thought is, why don't you go back to fleecing young players and your monopolistic practices?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree. I think that the price hikes, I mean, if they're based off of chips and what's happening, I mean, I get it. That's part of doing business, unfortunately. And that's why I think that tariffs in the long run still hurt consumers, which I don't think anybody's getting across on that line for some reason in our government, that we're still the ones that are paying for it. So I mean, I get it. I think that is a hefty price point. The problem is that though the problem with capitalism, in my opinion, with things like this, is that if the price is going up, theoretically, you would think that if the tariffs and the cost of manufacturing went down, that the price would then go down. But that's usually does happen, but usually isn't the case. And that's where I get frustrated about price hikes, for when they're making an argument that it could be for this reason.
So I want to push back a little bit. I'm not saying anything good or bad about tariffs, but I don't think that tariffs have very much to play in this. And it's because we are going through, and from what this is just what I've seen of the thing, these companies are buying them up faster than they can be produced. They are, like, companies have shifted away from the consumer market for RAM entirely. They are being bought up as soon as they come off the assembly line. So I don't think just putting it out there. It's
this may not specifically be from tariffs, but I'm still going to blame Donald Trump for it, and that's what's the most important part. But you're actually could be. You have a point. It could be from the mere fact that this is a supply and demand issue, and that's also what's causing that to happen, along with tensions in the components that go into making these types of devices. So 100%, I agree with you. All right, well, with that being said, I have my EVA phone book here. I have my dice. I have Trey. And now in 1 second, I'm going to have Danielle from Husky Hubby Cosplay, who probably just got off work with children all day.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, you're perfect.
Okay. I actually am technically on summer break, but also I just had my last day with the public school system. So I left public school to
I was just going to say, I'm like, does that mean you're leaving the public school system?
Yes. So I am leaving the public school system in order to be able to do home health.
So when you say home health, does that mean taking care of the Husky hubby in this situation? So staying
no.
What is that like? You're going to go do because you do speech pathology.
Yeah, so I'm a speech therapist.
In homes?
Yes, in homes with pediatric clients.
That's awesome. That probably pays a lot better than the public school system, but we don't need to go into that.
Unfortunately, in Arizona, it definitely does, because Arizona is for public schools pay.
Yeah,
and
sure. However, hold that thought though. Hold that thought. I just want to see if we're beating Florida. As long as we're beating Florida, it's okay.
We are not. I think we're 49.
No, we're not beating Florida.
No, nope.
Hold on, I'm gonna look this up.
I think it's like Alabama or Arkansas is the only state that's worse than us.
Worst public school systems by state. Let's see here. ChatGPT's doing it. So this is.
And I think it's normally ranked on like.
Florida's not. We're not beating Florida.
We are definitely
not.
Damn it. We're 49th, right?
Actually, we're 14th. Alaska's behind us now. Oh, well, again, this is AI. Chad, I don't know where they're getting the site source, but based off of this, it's Arizona, Alaska. So New Mexico's the worst.
Okay.
Which I've heard that from people that are from New Mexico.
Right.
So New Mexico's the worst. Oklahoma is 50th. So 51st is New Mexico. 50th is Oklahoma. 49th is Alaska. 48th is Arizona.
Okay. So Puerto Rico must be counted in there if we're at 51, right?
I don't know. This just gives me up to number 42, and then it just goes into the top ones. So the number one school in the state is Massachusetts.
I was going to say it's on the East Coast. It's probably
and Connecticut is a really good state.
Connecticut.
New Jersey, Virginia, and New Hampshire.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the East Coast states tend to spend a lot more money on education, and a lot of it, I think, has to do with the fact that their property taxes help pay for education, which is why their property taxes are higher, and why so many people love Arizona for property taxes, because we don't really have them.
We have a very low to, if not zero, property tax.
Yep. So that's not where we get our money for education.
All right. Well,
but anyway,
Trey, how's Montana's public school system? Where are you? I want to see where Montana is on here.
I would be very curious. I'm going to say that I think we're on the upper end, because unlike some cities, we're not usually, this could have changed over the last couple of years, we're not usually overcrowded.
You were 29th.
Really? Not that great. Hopefully we can get better.
Well, I mean, Arizona's 48.
I was gonna say you're a lot
you're
better
average.
Than us.
You're in the mid-tier average tier of these things, Trey. Well, that's cool. So, it's with a private company. Then I'm assuming, or is it with public?
Yeah,
health,
so
or?
it's a clinic. So they
That's
do
cool.
in clinic and home health, and I decided to go the home health route to really have a little bit. And not that I'm leaving public schools because it doesn't pay as much. Like I spent 14 years there, so that's really where my heart started in the profession. My mom just retired after her like 48th year in public schools, and
Yeah.
my dad was in public schools. But there's a lot more flexibility in scheduling. So I can actually schedule to have like every Friday off and move kids around Thursday if I need to, so that we can do more Husky Hubby cosplay, like guesting and events and all that stuff. So
And that's what I was going to
that-
ask. So, does
Yep.
some of it have to do with like your push into your Husky Hubby cosplay brand?
yeah, so
Because-
it just gives more flexibility.
Yeah, because your freaking thumbnails are on point. Look at these bad boys. Trey,
Yeah,
look
that
at. Can you
is-
see these? Are you able to see these, Trey? Just push your screen up to
Wow.
your face. Look at these.
That's all.
Those are
Brandon.
fantastic.
Yeah, so he.
Look at this one. This is a great one.
Oh, that's the one we just put out. That is, we got the Chaos Rising Pokemon set, some booster packs.
Hey
of that.
Oh my God.
everyone!
Yeah,
As you know, we recently went to Collecticon. We went to another smaller trade show. Was that February?
I think it was in early March.
Yeah. And we were looking to sell some of my old Pokemon cards. And so we just went to Collecticon again and learned there was a new drop coming out. And so we had some store credit at one of the
Fallout
local
games, yeah.
Fallout games.
Mhm.
Check them out if you haven't. The people there are wonderful.
One in Mesa.
Yep, the one in Mesa is our favorite one.
Who
They had a
edited
few Chaos Rising.
Who edited this? Did Brandon edit it?
Oh, we actually, our earlier videos, Brandon was editing, but then we actually have an editor from Singapore, I believe, and he does all of our edits for us. And so it makes it a lot. I mean, shout out Desmond. He's really awesome. He always like does a quick turnaround. And so we've got kind of a partnership built with him, and he does all of the edits. So Brandon will send him the footage that we like, and then he'll Brandon will set up a script like, hey, this is kind of the flow we like, and then Desmond goes through and like splices all the videos and does the effects and all of that. So
That's crazy. This is great.
I've seen that. I
Yeah.
don't know who the Pokemon are, but they look absolutely awesome. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll just find an artist that I like and maybe just get a collection of just theirs, which would be really cool, I think, too.
One of the reasons why we got this triple blister, as Brandon was saying, is because we loved this Charmeleon. Like, he is just so fun.
Did you do multiple
And
cameras?
he came kind of bent, but
We
that's
did,
okay.
yeah.
He's going to do a binder copy for me. All right.
What cameras do you use?
So for the, let's see, I'm trying to think how we set it up. We use Brandon's iPhone 17 for our faces. And then we had
Oh,
like
yeah, that's a
an-
good phone. That's why I bought my iPhone 17 for your guys'
Yep.
faces.
Yep. And then we had our DJI Osmo Pocket 3 for the like card thing, and that's way harder to do than it looks. Like, I don't know how all these people on like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and Twitch are doing it so fast, because I had to be like around it, and I felt like a crab person trying to like open the packs and open them. But
Yeah.
I figured
You,
we'll get better.
Once you get, if you get different camera setups that can be held, like, because I have 2 Alpha 7s here, right?
Okay.
And I don't have enough space in this room, but like I wanted to set up the second one to do the dice roll, because you can always get an arm for it that connects, and then you can hold that on the place where you want the phone to be, and then it's just stationary. So like when we did I don't know, at Tucson, I think it was, we played like a game, like a card game. We had
Oh,
the
okay.
overhead one, and then we played the card game. And I think we did one like that at Game On Expo too, for that Love Hate card game. But that's really
Okay.
cool. I'm really excited. You guys are really going hardcore.
Yeah, Brandon, if in the video he talks about how his favorite Pokemon's always been Blastoise. He loves Sky Blue, favorite color, loves turtles, loves Hawaii. So Blastoise just makes sense for him. So he's
Yeah.
doing a whole kind of master set of the Squirtle, War Turtle, Blastoise cards. So he got a really cool binder for it. And we're actually going to another card trade show. I think it's a smaller one tomorrow. So he's going to kind of start his collection. And I'm going to do like a 3-split Ultimate Pokedex, or I forget what the term is actually, but it's like a master Pokedex where you get one card of each Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I have
So
to
is
split
that
it
like,
up into 3.
so is like the content of your site mainly focused around like is it cosplay and then other geekdom things that you guys are involved, like related in, or is that like the main theme around it?
Yeah, it's kind of evolved as we've gone on. So we do mostly, the cosplay part is really how we got started. And now we're doing a little more like vlogging content, nerddom content, like you said. Yeah. So just kind of wherever the wind takes us, we're still definitely cosplay focused, but sometimes we don't last October was super busy and we had enough content every weekend to put out a new video cosplay focused. But then this beginning of the year's been a little bit slower. So we had to find some other ways to do content because
coming up with content is the most the content making's fun. And that part's technically kind of easy. It's coming up with all of the content that you want to do or what content to do in my opinion, that becomes so exhausting.
Yep. And then with the my crafting process is not linear. And so in order to film it all, it would probably be 5 hours of just random filler of watching me do stuff on a computer or trace things out or do math. And no one really needs to watch 5 hours of that. So I don't. And also to be real, when I'm crafting, I don't look video ready most of the time because, I'm just me in my house. And so I don't really want to have to look video ready when I'm crafting for 5 hours in a day. So I don't want to record it anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, me and Trey never look video ready. We just come on here and talk about stuff. And whatever happens, happens.
I guess you could maybe not have pants on and we wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's true. The best time that I ever looked was when we did Game On Expo, and that was the time where I finally decided to okay, I'm gonna try to do some makeup stuff so that I can look better in the light.
Camera
right?
ready, yeah.
Right, yeah. So I had Jinx do makeup for me. And then I looked back at those ones. That was the best that I had ever looked, specifically on camera. The rest of the time, it's just an S show. But real quick, before we get into some foam talk, because I want you to talk about Kaiju.
Yeah.
You're doing a Kaiju number 8 cosplay, right? So I'm hoping maybe you can share some of that with us. But before we do that, you guys have an Osmo Pocket 3?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the Osmo Pocket 4 came out, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty sure Brandon was watching a video. Yep.
Yeah. And so what was fun was when we went to XRP Las Vegas, I was in a car with Dustin and Josh for 6 hours. He just bought an Osmo Pocket 4 and he would not fucking shut up about it. Excuse my language. Every trip, all he would talk about was his Osmo. And then when we got to Vegas and we were walking around, he kept leaving his freaking ND filter somewhere in the freaking room. And then every time we went to him, he was like, man, I really wish I brought that ND filter. And he would talk about the Osmo Pocket 4 the entire freaking time. So now I just give him shit whenever I hear about Osmo Pockets. But Osmo Pockets are, I was thinking about getting one to shoot my in-time vlog stuff because they work so much better than me doing the phone.
Yep. It's such an upgrade because we were vlogging with the phone. And then when we switched over or made the decision hey, you know what? I think we're going to get into this vlogging thing. Let's do it. And so if
you're going to do vlogging, vlogging, the Osmo, there's not a better product than the Osmo Pocket. Just because the way you can hold it, you can get the vertical shot really good. It's so much comfortable. It's got a wide angle on it. It works really, really good. But don't tell Josh I said anything. And Josh, if you're listening to this, your Osmo Pocket 4 sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Danielle. Love it. Okay.
Osmo Pocket 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Osmo Pocket 3. You start talking about the 3.
All right.
Okay. So let's talk about some cosplay and foam, or we can just talk about foam. But Kaiju number 8. Do you have some of it with you?
I do. So if we want to talk about the foam part first, let's see, can I do this? Okay, so this is my model right now for Brandon. So I was able to make basically a Brandon sized chest, and I did that using a duct tape model on him. So this is like the back of it where I wrapped him in saran wrap, and then you use duct tape and you basically make a shell, and then you cut it off, and then through that you trace this onto whatever paper. I have this just pattern paper, and so you trace it onto the pattern paper. It's kind of folding funny. Okay. And then after that you cut it and you glue it together. And so I'm pretty proud of this version of Brandon here, because I was really, you guys have met Brandon, so you know kind of size-wise, torso-wise. I'm trying to get a better shot.
Yeah.
So this is actually like his whole torso. So he fits in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so I was able to do
That's
that.
so cool.
Yeah, what we're doing next with it is, because Kaiju number 8, it has a lot of like glowing parts in the abs. We actually have LEDs to incorporate, and so that's what I was kind of going to show here.
Oh, you're gonna do LEDs for it?
Uh-huh.
So hold on, just
Yeah.
so people can see on screen. I think I got a picture of the Kaiju number 8. Is this
Oh,
accurate?
yes, that'd be great.
Oh,
So-
I didn't put it up. The thing's still.
The LEDs, are you thinking like a single or like a group of bulbs, and then maybe like a what's the right type of word? It's like a polarizing filter. They use it, the term in photography.
Like diffusion?
Diffusion filter, yes.
Yeah, so actually...
Is that like an indie filter? Josh, I hate you. And your Osmo Pocket 4. I'm just kidding.
Pocket 4 sucks. Yeah, Pocket 3.
Get the 3.
Yeah, so I actually have this stuff. It's called diffusion foam, and it is like a EVA foam that diffuses light. So I will have close your guys' eyes for, well, I don't know how light it'll translate, but so I am using cob strips. So they're different than the LED bulbs. So I'm using cob strips.
So cool.
And then you put the diffusion foam over it, and it's not going to show very well.
Right.
No, that's okay. It's still.
I actually can
shows.
see.
Diffusion foam over it. Let me see if I can cover it with this on this top. Yeah, so I'll put the diffusion foam over it, and then it will glow around those shapes. But what I have to do in order to get those shapes is actually cut the cob strip and solder all of the wires together to make a grid.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
So this is very like
Trey,
just
you're
my
breaking
thought.
up. It might be me though. So launch it. Okay, you're good.
Okay. If you can set the strip back a little bit from the foam, you might get more even lighting. And you might not, or you might already know this. I just thought I'd put in my 2 cents. But yeah,
So that
Yeah, but
is
Trey,
a great
just remember,
point.
if you're ever talking to Josh, Dustin, and you're saying something that you think that they already know, don't apologize beforehand and say, just say it that as if you already know it and you think that they don't know it.
Yeah, so doing like digging some small channels in here is the plan. So that it, like you said, it'll diffuse the light better. And yeah, so that's kind of the plan for that. I just have been pokey on getting it done.
When is this going live?
So we are going to debut it at Anime Expo. So
Got it.
July 4th weekend, I think, in LA.
That's really cool.
So yeah,
That's
that's the really cool
Yay.
foam part. I'm really excited to get that done. And then I'm going to be Hikari Shinomiya, which if you've watched the show, Shinomiya is the one with the really big axe. And then her mom is Hikari, or like she's got like a axe looking thing. And then her mom has this really cool pole arm, and she was called the Valkyrie and stuff. And she, spoiler alert, died fighting a kaiju. And so like you learn that in the first season, but she's like,
Yeah, so it's
super-
not that big of a deal. If you haven't seen the
Yeah.
first season yet, then watch the first season and you'll be fine.
I mean, like everyone knows Shinomiya doesn't have a mom, so it just takes a little while to, like 4 episodes maybe. But I also did a pattern for myself for hers. So like did my right thigh, and then that same thing that I traced it for Brandon, I traced it for me. But on mine, I also have this pattern. If you can see like it's hard to see. Those lines, I'm going to have to Dremel into the foam to give it some relief and to give it some kind of depth, because hers looks like a full like plated armor across it, and I did not want to cut that many pieces of foam to glue onto other foam. So I'm going to use the Dremel method in order to kind of give it that relief. And if you don't know what a Dremel is, it's a rotary tool. It spins really fast. It can dig into foam. It can bevel edges. It's a really good cosplay tool.
Yeah, that's really cool. What are you going to be using any 3D plastic in it?
I am. So one of the really cool parts that I'm excited about that I just got done printing, and it was kind of a project, was the Kaiju number 8 spine. And this is
so cool.
Yeah, this one's translucent PLA, so it will also glow. The way I have it set up right now, I don't think I can show because it's on duct tape, but I can see if the duct tape.
Was that a vectoring? Was not a vectoring? Yeah,
an STL file? Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought this STL file. Yeah. I haven't gotten good enough at like adjusting or modeling yet, so I buy a lot of my files.
Well, there's anything wrong with that. I can't even write on paper anymore. How would I even be able to do that?
Oh yeah, it does show.
Oh,
Okay,
what?
through the
Look at how cool that looks, Trey.
That's awesome.
That is
okay,
so
that
cool.
is good. Yeah, so that'll be on the back though, because that
looks so freaking cool. That's so creative.
So I'm excited about that. And then we have one more other 3D printed part that is finished. It is, let me see if my headphones reach over there. Oh, I have 2 things to show actually. Okay, so
that's so cool.
One of my favorite things that I've ever done to Brandon, I shouldn't say this out loud, it's gonna make me sound like a crazy wife, but I made a Brandon
as long
head.
as it's clean, I think it's okay.
Right? I made a Brandon head. So
Nope, you're right. That does make you a crazy sounding wife. No,
he let me put saran wrap all around his head, and then of course I left room for him to breathe, and then duct tape him up. So this is his head, so that when I do things,
it's really creepy because that does actually look
like Brandon.
Like the shape of his head and his like where his facial features would be if it was real.
Yep.
That is really, really creepy.
Yeah. And then it's extra creepy then when I put the Kaiju number 8 mask helmet on him.
Yeah.
Because let me see if
that is so cool. Okay, so then Brandon's gonna fit in the mask or the headpiece, and then the mask will be over that headpiece.
Yes. So, well, yeah. So
or
this is
all that will be one piece eventually.
This is all one. Like this helmet was all printed. We got a new 3D printer, which has a really big bed now, and so I was able to print this all as one piece. And so this will be Brandon's helmet, and then it'll go. He'll put the helmet on, and then he'll put this chest plate on. So this.
But that head, the taping headpiece.
Oh, that's just a model for me. That's just so that I don't have to.
That's the model for you to use.
Yes,
got it,
that's
got
like
it. Okay,
my
that makes more
Brandon,
sense.
my Brandican, my
So you made a
Brandon.
Brandican. That's really funny. You made a Brandican.
Yes. So yeah, this was really fun. to make, and then Brandon helps with a lot of like the sanding and post finishing. So this will eventually be kind of that whitish color, that bone, and then this will stay black.
Nice.
Which actually, funny story about this mask, right? Like you can imagine walking in and being like, "Oh, that's kind of creepy." Yesterday, one of our smoke alarms started beeping. And so I went up there to like change the batteries, and all of a sudden, all of them started going off. And I tried for like 5 minutes to like ChatGPT, like, what should I do? This, that, and the other thing. And they're all hardwired together. So after like 10 minutes, I was like, I don't know what to do. We don't smell smoke. We don't do anything like that. And so we called the fire department because like when your smoke alarm won't turn off, they're kind of the experts, right?
Yeah.
And so they come, and I had this mask on the chest, just sitting in a chair, like right when you come up our stairs. And the one guy goes, "Oh," and I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to warn you." Like, they're like, "What is that?" And they were like, "Did we just walk into a trap?" I mean, no, I swear we're not creepy. We're just cosplayers. And then they were impressed by all of our other stuff. But I was like, I really need to warn people when they come over to our house, because like the guy was like, "Is that Donnie Darko?" And I'm like, it does look a lot like it does look a lot like Donnie Darko.
It would look weirder if it didn't. It would look even weirder if it was just the tape head, though. Like the because if it didn't have that on it, and then you had that other, because that also looks like something
Brandon,
like
yep.
Well, it looks like Brandon's head, but then the way that it's designed, it looks like it looks like something that you would use in an S&M capacity over someone else's head.
Yep.
So that makes it even funnier. But
oh yes,
but
it looks like one of those weird hood thingies.
Yeah.
It wouldn't fit though. It's got fluff in it. So
all right, well,
for purposes.
Right. And he agreed to do it. That's the key.
Right, exactly. And you can actually,
no matter what the purpose is, as long as he agreed to do it.
Exactly, it's consensual.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do two. We'll do We'll do 3 random questions from this, and then we'll close out with some other news. All right, so This is an EVA Foam Cosplayers Ultimate Guide. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the dice. I have a percentile dice to give me the main page number to work with. And then I think that's how I did it last time. How many pages are in this? Yeah, that'll work. And then a 10-sided dice to know where I'm going to. I guess I might need even a third dice, but we'll just see what happens. I'm going to roll this and see what happens. Okay, so we are going. You know what it is? It's 2 percentile dice. Is what I think it needs to be, maybe. Because it's only going to go up to 100. So I can only go up to 110 with this.
Yeah, unless you did. Do you have a 20? You could do a 20 dice.
Yeah, but now I lost the 10. The 10's gone now. Hold on.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
It's like 180. It's because it's like 180 pages or so in that book, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
it does quite a bit. You can always do what people usually do if they don't have a percentile dice. Roll anything from 1 to 10, and if it gets anything over a 5, you add 100, and if it doesn't, you it's static.
No, I got so much dice here. I dropped the 10 when I was playing around with it. I just got to find another.
Or you could just use 3 10-sided dice or 3 10 dice, and then just do like 3 rolls. So if you get like a 1 to 7 and a 2. 72.
Or we could spend this entire segment me looking for another 10-sided dice,
right?
And see what happens. That's what we could do. Okay, I got 2 little purple ones. I got a green one. 2 little guys, and a big and a. I was gonna
whatever Trey just suggested. I did not follow, so that's why you guys wouldn't want to watch me cosplay craft for 5 hours, because it would be just me trying to figure out math. Because he's like, okay, 5,
we're gonna roll this. Okay, so this one's gonna be the main one, and then we'll go to the second one for the second, and third for the third. Okay, so it is 65. It'd be cool if I had the other camera set up, but oh my gosh, I don't even know what's happening on. Oh, look, a Dremel.
A Dremel, yay! Is it
I
page
think.
65? Probably not.
No, but I hit a Dremel. I saw a Dremel somewhere, I thought. Okay, so yeah, here's a Dremel. Creating battle damage. Battle damage can give arm. This is going back to 59 though. Battle damage can give armor even more backstory and character. Use a rotary tool with a grinding bit or a sanding drum and angle into the foam as you drag the bit across the surface. So essentially, it's taking the rotary. I don't know if that's going to focus.
I was going to say your filter.
I don't have audio focus. Is it my ND filter, Josh?
Yep.
Is my ND filter on my messing this up?
This is why you should use a Pocket 3.
Okay. All right. It's probably also because I got the blur on.
It's because you got the blur on. Yeah, so.
Okay, so essentially they're using the Dremel on that piece of foam, and then they're doing damage. So how do you do damage? Do you do damage?
I do, yeah. I don't have foam out here to show you, but this 3D print actually can show you kind of what you're trying to achieve. So like you see how it's got these deeper grooves in certain areas? In foam, you can do that with that rotary tool. So you either use, like they said, a grinding bit, or you use a sanding drum, and then you slowly kind of drill and Dremel, and rotary tools are called rotary tools because they like go around. They have rotors. Yeah.
I think we can see it better now.
Oh, yes. So you will take that drum piece and kind of scrape it into the foam to do like scratches and dents and all of that. And then they showed using your heat gun, obviously with the proper ventilation.
Like how you're so cognizant of the health concerns.
The safety, yeah.
Safety
do
would
as
be
I
better
say,
word.
not as I do, you know, like, yeah. Make sure you wear your safety stuff. But yeah, so then you use a heat gun and you do it on those things you just dremeled out. And then that helps to kind of seal the foam and get rid of any fuzzy edges that you would have from that dremeling.
Okay, so I'm going to go back over to 60. What did I say? 65? Originally was the number? All right, so 65 is like making screw holes, rivets, divots, and nail details. So these details are simple to make, which looks very hard to me, and can make a proper part. I guess this wouldn't be that hard. Essentially what they're doing here, I don't know if you've ever done this. So they're taking these holes things to make kind of like, I guess, divots inside of the armor. Have you ever done that before? And what do you use?
Yeah, I have. I've used things just like they're using. I've used like pen tips. I've used, if you want like internal ones, like you could even use, this is my knife sharpener, but you could use this. I'm trying to see. And if you press into foam, it'll make a cool detail. And I think I do have a piece of foam right here on the table. And some pens. Okay. My headphone popped out. Okay. So you can just take like your piece of foam. Ugh, this is way easier to rip sometimes. So I'll use my trusty. See, when I was going to do at Game On the demonstration, this is what I was going to bring with me. And then I was like, I don't think I'm allowed to bring this in. So that's why we didn't do demonstration.
Would they have let you bring it in though?
I don't think so, because it's a very sharp blade.
Oh, that's right, because that's a Phoenix Comic Convention issue, not when we were at UwuCon, or not UwuCon, when we were at WonderCon, Danielle, we literally just took anything we wanted into this gate. It was ridiculous. There was like so we were at WonderCon. There was a side entrance area from the hotel. So it was a regular entrance where they had like. They could have had something to go through or scan. It wasn't like a secret entrance or anything. Yeah. And we would just have tons and tons of stuff in our cart. And we would have backpacks. We would have all kinds of stuff. We would just walk through as long as we had a badge. And we weren't a vendor. We weren't a vendor at that convention. We were just people at that convention. Like Dustin
interesting.
Had gear on. We had backpacks on. We had all kinds of shit. We could have snuck anything into that convention.
I think that's how Phoenix used to be until that like
Yeah,
crazy
until this
guy.
issue
And
happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
But
yep. But back to
Okay.
rivets, right?
back to riveting.
So I've got just this regular old pencil, mechanical pencil is what I'm looking for, word wise.
Yep.
And my piece of foam, and I'm just going to, let's see, can we? Yes. Okay. So then you just take it and you press it in, and then you pull it out, and it gives it like a rivet
Oh,
design.
that's good. That looks really good from your pencil.
Yeah. And so
That's
you
a
can
really
use
good rivet.
that, and then what else did I grab? If you want like tiny ones, you can use the other side of the pencil to make like a really tiny kind of hole. And then I've got like this pen cap. So you just use your pen cap and press it in. And then I can use, yeah. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing all kinds of stuff that I have around to make different size rivets. So I've done that before. Oh, that one is really cool. And then you can use this.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. And so all these different shapes in the foam then can make all these cool different like rivet details.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's
Trey, can you
so
see any of
cool.
those?
Yeah.
What was the big one? The big
this guy?
that one, which one was that again? Was that your the knife sharpener, or was that the
It's just the cap. Yep.
Oh, that
So-
one's cool.
Uh-huh.
That one
It
came
almost
out
kind of
really
looks like a
cool.
Pokeball.
Yeah.
Like if I put a little dot on the inside there, it could be a Pokeball. But yeah,
Yeah.
so all of those different things can be to easily like make rivets. And then what you would do is you would use the heat gun to seal those. And then when you painted and then weathered, it would like the darker paint would get stuck in the little like denty parts, and it'd show up really, really cool.
That's really cool.
That actually gives me an idea, because this is relating to something else that's kind of similar. Because you said that one looks kind of like a Pokeball. You could do runes with this type of technique.
Wounds?
Runes, like symbols.
Oh, yes, yes. Yep.
Yep.
I was like,
that would
wounds?
actually be cool.
Yeah,
you
to
could
do
do
runes,
wounds.
like-
We could just stab people with the pencils and the pins.
Right?
We could wound the hell out of people.
And then
Okay.
another thing I've done to do like the opposite. So these are kind of like the indent type rivets. And so
Yeah.
sometimes you want to do like what looks like a nut. You know how like those cap nuts are for like a hex bolt?
Yeah.
I like to use googly eyes, because you can get googly eyes in all different colors, or I mean all different sizes, and then you put them on your foam before you spray paint it. And when you spray paint it, it looks like a hex rivet, but you don't have to pay all this money to like actually put metal pieces on.
That's really cool.
That's fantastic. Is that what you guys did with the owl helmet?
The
Full Metal
owl
Alchemist?
helmet, no. If I had the rivets on that one, it was using like the indent kind. I'm trying to think if he's got. I don't think he's got on there.
Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I thought that some of the rivets on his head were outward facing ones. I could be wrong.
I know you might be thinking about when I put the magnets in for the horn.
No, I'm more. So I'm not thinking. I'm thinking of your guys' design, but I'm also thinking of the character in the show.
Yeah, I mean, when I do Alphonse 2.0, which is happening sometime in the next year, I'm going to rebuild him. I probably will add some extra detail like that. And yes, I will absolutely do the what are they called? Googly eyes.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Danielle, what's your favorite? Do you prefer Brotherhood over the early 2000 Full Metal Alchemist? The other,
I'm kind of both, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong preference for either of them, because I watched, the early 2000s one in kind of the early 2000s, during like my youth. And so it was actually, other than Sailor Moon when I was pretty little, it was kind of my first real like anime. And so that always has my heart. And then Brandon and I watched Brotherhood together through its entirety.
Got it.
That's when the decision, he was like, I want to cosplay Alphonse. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And then Husky Hubby cosplay was born.
Yeah. Alphonse is such a great character in general, like from the show and your guys' version. Like you doing a great job with him. But like as a character from the show, he's amazing. All right, let's do.
No,
go ahead, Danielle.
When I do Alphonse 2.0, like I just love how he hides cats. You don't see it as much in Brotherhood as you do in the original, but Alphonse is always and forever like hiding cats inside himself. And so on Alphonse 2.0, I kind of want to do like a little where his chest opens and there's like a little cat in there.
Cat? Yeah, that would be really cool. Do you guys have cats?
We don't. Unfortunately, our landlord doesn't allow cats. But when we eventually move, we're gonna get cats.
Like I'm super allergic, and it would be difficult for me to sit around you if you had the cat. But it would be really cool if you put your real cat inside
real cat in there, right?
Yeah, and then when you open it, that's how you carry your cat around with you. I don't know if
right, a little cat basket.
All right. Okay. Cool. Okay. So we'll do one more, and then we'll see where we're at with time. Okay. All right, so 4053.
Okay.
That says over 200 pages, and I don't know how to count either. The whole thing's wrong.
So it makes it even better.
Yeah, the whole thing is just completely wrong. Adding textures and details. I guess that this is kind of as similar to what we were just talking about, but whatever, we'll look at it anyways. Okay, first thing on this page, it says shrinking. What is that?
That's a good question. I think shrinking is probably putting a lot of heat on it, so it like shrinks up. I don't know. So what are the pictures?
Says small details can be damaged quickly with high heat, so it's best to start with lower setting on your heat gun when heat sealing to avoid tiny pieces of EA foam flying away into the depths of your workspace. Hold the heat gun at a distance from the small details and work slowly.
Okay, so it is talking about the potential of shrinking when you have to, because EVA foam, when you heat it up, it does kind of shrink a little bit. That's why when you've got elements like this and you put heat on them, it gets even more pronounced because it shrinks the inside part away from the outside part. So it makes it deeper. And so if you've got too many little elements, you put that heat on it and it's too hot too fast, you're going to burn your EVA foam, which is why you definitely need to be using your PPE because it creates fumes. And then you also need to make sure that if you've got tiny details that you want to preserve, you go low and slow on the heat, slower movement. Not to cut you off, sorry.
No, I appreciate it. That's why you're here. And I haven't used this in a while because we've just been going. But that was amazing, Danielle. Amazing on a demonstration of shrinking. All right, the other thing that's on this page is pre-textured EVA foam. And just for anybody who is new to this and you don't know what EVA is, I have a solution for you. It stands for ethylene vinyl acetate. Yes. Woo. Woo. Josh, your Osmo Pocket 4 sucks. Just want to know that.
Pocket 4. Yay, Pocket 3.
Okay, so this says pre-textured EVA foam. Some companies have responded to the demand for interesting pre-textured EVA foam and have created many options to choose from. So Yaya Han has designed a line of EVA foam that includes 2 textured options conveniently available at your local Joann. Is Joann still around?
No.
Okay, Joann is not around.
So sad.
But it looks like it's textiled foam.
Yes,
so textured foam.
Yep.
Do you use any of that? Do you have any of that?
I have not used that before. What kind of I'm thinking about trying. I haven't done it yet, but like Kaiju number 8 does seem to have some texture to him because he's supposed to be like kaiju-y, like Godzilla-like. And because of that, I am possibly, like I said, I haven't tried it yet, but I want to make a 3D model stamp so that I can press and stamp and kind of similar to how these rivets are, I can press into my sheets of EVA to give it that texture.
Oh, that's actually a cool idea, Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially you would make a tool utilizing the 3D printer that you could then use on your EVA foam and add the best of both worlds, right?
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
3D printing, getting it takes a lot of work and you still have to put everything together. So I'm not discounting it. And the 3D printing stuff looks amazing. But essentially, when you're doing stuff with EVA foam, though, don't you like? Do you feel that it's more of like a create? I guess it's all creative, but more of a craftiness to the EVA construction, or I don't know. You see what
I know what you're
going with this?
asking. I can understand what you're asking. I think that it's both and kind of in the sense of like it's both creative. 3D printing creation is more so done on the computer in the sense of like when you're actually creating the object, you're doing it in like Blender or CAD or like
Yeah.
AutoCAD or whatever. So it has a lot of that like technical element to it. And then you can do a lot more with your hands when working with EVA foam. You can do a lot more kind of direct experimentation, like right in the moment. Whereas with 3D printing, you can't. They're both hard for different reasons. Anyone who says 3D
Yeah, I would
printing,
suck at both of them 100%. But yes.
you could learn.
Well, yeah,
Anyone-
but yes, that's true. Anybody can learn. Yeah.
Right. And anyone who says like 3D printing is way easier than foam has never actually tried to get a really glossy glass finish on printed stuff, because the sanding that it takes is literally like, it takes like 3 to 4 weeks. I swear. I hate it. Ask Kyle about it next time. He'll tell you how long.
Oh, it takes for the sanding
The
and getting
sanding, yeah.
Oh,
so,
the sanding of it. He always tells me how horrible
Yep,
it is. In
yeah.
fact, speaking of that, he messaged me about something that happened, and I completely forgot to message him back. So he probably thinks that I'm not even thinking about him, and it's not that. It's I completely lost track of time, and now we're here.
Right. Yeah. So there's like the layer lines in 3D printed stuff. I don't think you can see them as well because it looks really good on camera. But like where it puts the different layers, there's texture there that if I just went and spray painted right into that, you'd see every single line. So it wouldn't look as finished. And so you have to sit there, and PLA, which is the type of plastic filament I use, takes forever to sand. But then with EVA foam, you have to do a lot of sealing and preparation to that as well. But texture-wise, I was going to say one of the other tricks I might try, and I don't even know that it's like safety-wise, I'll have to check it out, but I want to try getting texture by using the same like texturizing process they use on walls. So like when my dad our house and put up new drywall and stuff, and you can use like these like texturizing sprays to give like your wall kind of that bumpiness, and that bumpiness looks a little lizard like, a little kaiju like, and so I may try and see if that will work on my EVA foam, but I also have to do a little more research to see if it's safe and if it like will stay for a long time. I think it would be safe because we have it in our houses.
I don't see why you wouldn't be safe. The only difference in this capacity would be on something that you're wearing, but I don't see how that would.
Yep.
Right, that like there's because it could maybe seep in. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good point. But I don't think that it would be. I don't think
like
that
toxic.
It would be toxic or anything. If not, we have a bigger problem.
Right, because kids lick walls all the time, right?
All right, well, Danielle, you have been amazing. Thank you for another segment of where's the phone talk thing? Do we still have a phone talk button?
I think it got deleted.
Oh,
Dustin.
no.
All right.
It's
Josh,
Dustin.
you're off the hook.
Is it Dustin's fault?
No. Well, there's this.
Phone talk.
Yeah, but that's I don't know where that. Trey, did you make? Who made that one?
I did.
Probably. It was blue. What is
Blue's
this?
a great color.
I don't want to touch that because I don't know what it is. I don't know what these are images of. I don't know if it's appropriate or not. Should I? I'm not going to touch that. What is this one? I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not. I have no. I can't even see the image. I don't know what it is. All right, I'm not going to go into that or what's going on there. We can yell at Dustin later. But all right, cool. So you know what? We're coming up on the top of the hour. Trey, was there any article that you feel that you had to do?
Nope, I don't think so.
Let's save some of these for.
They're all in the Discord.
Yep, they're all in the Discord. You guys can go and check them out. With that being said, Trey, we're doing gaming. I'm out of town this Monday, so when are we doing game time?
Not this week. Anime Roundtable is this upcoming next week, but it's also WWDC, which I'm very, very excited for.
Yeah,
and then 2 weeks after that, it's going to be game time.
Are we doing Daredevil Reborn this Thursday for an X Spaces?
Oh yeah, I still need to watch that. I completely
I'm 4
forgot.
episodes in, Trey. It's really good. You should watch it. Danielle, have you watched Daredevil Born again?
I have not, but I think Brandon's watching it. I came home one night and he was watching something with Daredevil, and I was like, "You started this without me?" And he goes, "Well, I've watched the whole thing, and you didn't say that you wanted to watch it, so I started watching this like 5 years ago." And I was like, "All right, fair."
He's got a very fair assessment of that argument.
And he knows that if he has to wait for me to watch something, it's never going to get watched because I'm always like, "Oh, I got to do this thing. I got to do that thing." So, yeah. So
That's
no.
funny.
Long story short,
cool.
I have not watched.
Sweet. So, Danielle, to close this out, why don't you? Is there any calls to actions that you have? Where are you going to be at? Where should people find you? Where should they watch your YouTube? So forth.
Yeah, so on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, we are Husky Hubby Cosplay, as it says. Can I do it? Right there.
Yep.
Boop, boop.
Pretty close.
Yep. Yeah, and this weekend we're going to. Let me check my calendar. It's called the Cactus Trading Card Game Show. So it is a local one for
that.
Let's see. Cactus.
Did you play Magic the Gathering?
I did not, Brandon. Well, I played a little bit in college. I was gonna say Brandon did, but he didn't. He was a Yu-Gi-Oh guy. So he played a lot of
For Yu-Gi-Oh players, honestly. That game.
Yu-Gi-Oh, not good.
Yes. It's really fun for some stuff, but it's literally so how many ways is there to summon a monster now? Normal, tribute, fusion, whatever the one that requires
Does that
a
make
spell
it
card.
easier than Trey, or does that make it harder? I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh.
I was gonna say this sounds complicated.
Yeah, you already made it sound too complicated, Trey. I don't want to play it. I'm just kidding. I love complicated games.
Right. Okay. So the Cactus Trading Card Game Show. It's probably not going to show, and it's backwards.
May 30th, 31st. I cannot see anything. Hold on, let me put you in full screen.
Oh.
Okay, do it again. One more time. I can see buy, sell, Saturday and Sunday, Centennial Way, Mesa, Arizona. I found it.
Yep, and
That's
I
cool.
believe, it's at the Delta Marriott. It's free admission, free parking, giveaways.
That's cool.
We're just going because we're getting into the Pokemon side of things too. And again, we don't have any events. Well, actually, we will have not this coming weekend. Next weekend is Fan Fusion.
Fan Fusion.
Yes. So, I can make the announcement. We have 2 panels at Fan Fusion. One is on Friday and one is on Sunday. And I was going to say, you guys have a panel too, right?
Supposedly, yes. That's the going concern in my life right now. Is that we have a panel next Sunday, not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday at Phoenix Fan Fusion to talk about podcasting. It's myself and Joey, and Thermo's going to lead the panel.
Nice.
I think it's just me and Joey. I don't know. It'll be fun. I can talk about podcasting all day. I love podcasting, but we'll see what happens. See what I make for it. I have like a PowerPoint, but I don't know if I'll use it yet. I don't know what we're going to do.
You're just
come and see. I don't even know what time it is. I'll be honest with you. Sam was just like, "Do you want to do a panel?" I was like, "Sure." And then this was, I don't know, at the beginning of the year or something, and now it's already here, and I'm all, yeah. So we'll see. What are your panels going to be on?
So we have one panel on traveling with big cosplay, and then we have another panel on building cosplay for bigger bodies. So break the I think it's called Break the Cosplay Mold for the one on bigger bodies, and then it's Fit Your Cosplay in the Bag for the one that is about fitting your cosplay in the bag. So
cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Danielle. Trey, I'll kick it over to you for any calls to actions and final thoughts.
Don't really have any final thoughts. If you guys are interested in some system level content, this week has been one of my absolute favorite weeks that I've done on Substack, creatortray.substack.com. And you can find me just about everywhere at Creator Tray, and then I'll pass it back to you, Jeremy.
You also know where you can find him? You can find him hanging on like a barnacle on the rock. Trey,
Yes.
you're never gonna live this down. Not that I love it. I'm gonna make t-shirts.
I was gonna
Definitely
say that's a
make
great T-shirt.
hanging on like a barnacle. And what we could do is we could find illustrators, Danielle, I was saying, and we could find the
Yes.
barnacles hanging on the rocks in different places with things
Yes.
happening around them. I don't know, hanging on like a barnacle on the rock, Trey. Love it.
Awesome.
My favorite new saying. Were you on the New Wealth Transfer podcast when I said it, Trey? When I put it
I
into the comments?
I think I might have missed it. I was working on an article at the same time as listening. Sorry.
All right. Well, I'll do it next week too. So, anyways, again, you guys can find me at Age of Jeremy. I have brand new conversations coming out this next week on my YouTube at Age of Jeremy, where I sit down with original poetry from Poetry Roots. I had a conversation with him yesterday as an on-demand video that'll be coming out next week. Great interview. And then also we have a special interview that I did with the Chief Operating Officer of Junior Achievement of Arizona with a special look into JA's BizTown. That should be coming in the next couple of weeks as well. So make sure that you like and subscribe to my Age of Jeremy YouTube. Make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel as well. And I also want to announce that we now have a Mercury podcast feed wherever you get your podcast. So this will be going on there afterwards. You'll be able to watch these on Spotify. And then all of our X Spaces will be going directly to that feed and not coming over to the YouTube channel directly. And we're working on some other podcast-focused audio content as well for Mercury. So make sure that you go and subscribe to Mercury wherever you get your podcasts as well, along with subscribing to Mercury by Age of Radio here on YouTube or wherever you're watching it, which might be LinkedIn, X. I think we're still up on Instagram right now. I'm looking at it over there. There's one person on there. I'm really excited about that. All right.
Woohoo.
Well, with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I'm thankful, grateful, and kind for each and every one of you, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.